Happy New Year and welcome back.
So I was when you said it, you said Happy New Year, and you know how last time I had said one part and you said one part, so I was going to say and Happy New Year. I was like this.
Did you open
Happy New Year.
and welcome back to Jocelyn and Buddy with Love. Want to take a second to thank all of our subscribers,
Yes.
both new and old,
Yes.
for going on this journey with us.
Yes, yes. Please continue to like, comment, and share the content. So today, how appropriate. New Year, a lot of times people set goals and have all these new expectations and everything. So we just want to talk today a little bit about trusting the plan. So just to get us started, do you ever feel, like for years we've set New Year's resolutions and goals and
Yeah.
stuff. Almost every year mine was to lose weight and go on a diet. Oh, and exercise.
Okay.
Exercise. Almost every year. But with that, um, do you feel pressure like when the year starts to actually put goals in place for the year?
To have a New Year's resolution.
Yes.
I don't anymore. I
Mhm.
used to.
Mhm.
So I used to say, you know what? I've heard everything I've tried everything from, working out, diet, no alcohol January, no spin January. So it's a few that I've tried. Some I've actually, done fairly well,
Mhm.
but most maybe 2 weeks.
Right, right. And I think like somewhere along the way, all fall for the lie that if you don't achieve something by a certain time, then you failed.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah. Yeah. So would you say that there's anything that you felt that way about?
By a certain time,
Yeah. Like, do you have like deadlines on stuff or anything? Like looking back?
uh no, I don't think I had a lot of deadlines, to be honest with you. I don't know that, at any point I was like, hey, I want to do this by this age and that by that age,
Right.
so I don't know. What about you?
I think recently, no. Nothing that I can think of. I mean, of course, again, I wanna be, fit by 50 and all of those types of things, right?
Are you fine, but you fine at 50?
Um, but, like, I do remember, like, when I was a little girl, my cousin Renee and I, we used to buy bridal magazines, and we would create, like, our wedding when we were, like, kids or whatever, and I think probably in my head, I had, I'm gonna get married, I'm gonna have kids, but as I got older, I think that kind of, like, went away or wasn't as important maybe. I mean, a lot of times people say, "How long have you guys been married?" We're like, "20 years." And it's like, "Do you have kids?" Like, "Yeah, our oldest is 26." And they're like, "Oh,
Mm,
okay." So, what I had intended, I think maybe as a younger child, it didn't, you know, it didn't come happen the way that I thought that it would, but I don't think that I have deadlines right
yeah,
now.
I don't.
I mean, work deadlines, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But certain time things, not that I can think of.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that when you start putting timelines on life events, sometimes it can take you down like a slippery slope.
Set you up for failure
It can set you up for failure. Yeah. 100%.
all day.
For us, I would have to say that not everything, in fact, probably not most things didn't happen quickly, but I think for us, a lot of things were intentional, right? Even if it wasn't intentional in the moment, or so we thought. Like, what do you think time has actually produced in us? Like waiting, like what?
Patience.
Mhm.
Patience for sure. I think time has allowed us to better understand ourselves and each other. So the time we put in, I think we kind of know how we operate versus in the past it was kind of like, like why she come on man, what
Yeah.
she, what I mean? So I think time has allowed us to evolve. It's taught us patience for sure. So time has been a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. Going back to the fact that we had Kai before we got married, there have been people who've kind of like maybe not outright asked, but have kind of like hinted around like, why did y'all wait so long to get married? And I can understand, like looking back from a person outside looking in, they would that's a fair question because we dated longer than most people think is common to date before getting married. But I do think for us that the waiting was necessary. I don't know that we would have been as successful as a couple had we
Got married at 23.
or 25 or 26. I
Right,
think that, like you said, it was a lot of growth that happened during that
right.
time, during our waiting
So
period.
so the blessing is neither one of our parents were like, "Oh, you pregnant, you gotta get married."
Very true.
So, yes, that did not happen,
Yeah.
and I think that was good to not be pressured. There was a lot going on at the time, so we weren't ready.
We were not ready.
We weren't ready.
And even though yeah, it might have looked better to other people, I think that it may have not ended well.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, it's safe to say that we would not have made it.
I don't think we
I don't
would've.
think we'd have made it
Yeah, I think yeah.
because neither one of us were ready to be a husband or a wife. We weren't ready. We weren't ready financially, spiritually, emotionally.
We weren't grounded, we weren't
Yeah, we
rooted.
were all, yeah,
Yeah. We would fly off.
yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about time. How did the time help you?
Um, I think that it allowed me to mature. I mean, we've talked about this before. I think that it allowed me to grow as an individual, to grow as a mother, and to grow as a significant other. And you know what? I'll even say I think that it also just the growth that we experience during our waiting season, if you will, like if you're saying waiting to get married season, I think that growth allowed me to mature and improve in my other relationships as well.
Right. So just to give people a time frame, so we met around 20, had Kai at 23, got married at 29,
Had Brandon at 30.
had Brandon at 30.
Yep.
So from meeting at 20, dating for 3 years, had Kai, then it took us 6 years to figure it out,
Mhm.
which I think, I always joke and say you got to try it before you buy it, but it goes both ways. Like we really needed, not only we needed to see how we would go through difficult times, we needed to live together to see what habits, good or bad, that we had and what we needed to fix as individuals. There was a lot of things we had to kind of iron out before we got married. And then once we got married at 29, it still won't fully baked.
Yeah, you know what though? I do think though I wonder we always have said that we believed in God, we went to church, all of those things, but I don't know that we were putting God first in our lives. So had we been doing that, maybe we wouldn't have
That's a
needed
good point.
to do all of those other things. But it still boils down to like trusting the plan. Even if things didn't go how we might have scripted it ourselves, it doesn't mean that it's over,
Right.
because I think now we are in the place that we trust the planner more than we trust the plan.
Oh, wow. Mic drop. Trusting the planner
Yeah.
more than the plan. That's a good point.
One of the things we talked about was that when we found out that we were pregnant with Kai, our parents didn't pressure us to get married, that we waited. And we feel that it was appropriate for us. Um, would you agree that that isn't random? Even though it might not be how we scripted it or how we would have wanted it to be, would you agree that nothing is random, that everything is intentional?
I do agree. I do agree that it was definitely intentional. Um, at the time, I mean, my parents got married probably at 20, so at the time I was like, so am I supposed to get married now? Like, I don't really know. And the first thing you said was, hey, we're not getting married because we got pregnant, so I was kind of like, oh, okay. So that's awesome to hear because
Mm.
typically it's the female and her parents that are like, well, y'all just got a package,
Yeah.
so to answer your question, it wasn't random, even though we may have had different, thoughts on that, but it was on purpose.
Yeah. About that, about getting married and me making that statement, I never wanted to be married because I got pregnant. I wanted to be married because you chose me. You wanted to marry me. You didn't want to fix a situation. So, I just felt like I needed to put that out there. I also think that, yes, we're talking about our relationship and how we waited to get married and all of that. But I think that all that we're talking about applies to other things too. Like if you are trying to lose weight and you have a goal by a certain date, if you don't make that date, every small step matters. It's a step forward that you hadn't taken previously. So I think if I had to like summarize everything that we've been talking about, it's trust the plan. So let's kind of like bring it all back together. We started this video with wishing everyone a happy new year.
Happy New Year.
One of the main things I want people, whoever views this video, whether it's January 1st or December 1st, is that the calendar does not define your purpose. Like there is a plan and purpose behind everything. So you have to trust the process
Right?
and you have to trust the plan.
Have to trust the planner.
More important than the
So God is the same in December that he is in January. I don't think he's too concerned with January 1 as being
right.
the starting line,
Right. Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So that's a good point. I agree.
Mhm.
So I think your journey should, you know, if you need to reset,
That's fine.
that's cool to reset and kind of, come up with the game plan that makes sense that you can do for the long haul,
Yeah.
not something that's a get out the blocks real quick. And, I'm not eating meat and I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And then after 2 weeks, you miserable.
Right. But even if you start something, I think what you said about resetting
Mhm.
is important. Like we need to call that out because sometimes people start down a track and it's like, well, I had a plan and by January 31st, I was going to lose 10 pounds and I've only lost 6. So I'm going to start over again January next year. Like you don't have to do that. It's okay to reset
Right.
and you should reset. I think that that is worth calling out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and
You
and it
don't
doesn't
fail. That's
and it
not a fail.
doesn't just have to be a January reset.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It does not. So very, it doesn't have to be a Monday either because I know sometimes on Thursday, I'm like, you know what, on Monday,
On
I'm going
Monday,
to,
I'm starting over.
yes, start
For some
over.
reason, I picked Tuesday for my day. So if I decide Imma eat right and Imma, switch some things up, I start on Tuesday.
Hmm.
It
Huh.
just I feel better about Tuesday.
Okay. Well, Tuesday's your day.
Yeah.
So, still keeping with our New Year's theme, one thing that we generally do every year is choose a word.
We do.
What is the significance and importance behind choosing a word for the year?
Well, Imma say last year my word was consistency, and, I made sure it was on my screensaver on my phone so I could see it all the time. But it's important because it's almost like the anchor for the year, if you will. So if you choose a word, you pray about it, you think about it, especially a family word, and you just ride on that word for the whole year. So that's the theme. That's
Yeah.
the theme for the year.
Yeah, last year my word was trust.
Okay.
And my word was trust last year because of the ending of 24, or I should say 2024 period
Right.
was it was a growth year for me. So trust was my word for the year 25. Um, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, I
Hmm.
think. And this year we've chosen our word as for you and I as being return.
Return.
And that's just returning back to some of the things that we did that was helping us build our faith.
Return of the man.
We're not returning of the Mac, okay? But, like, returning back to, like, we're gonna read the Bible again
Right.
this year. Um,
So we had a really good regimen going on in
24.
24. Yeah, yeah. So 24, yeah. We were doing well, getting up early, reading the Bible, reading the book. So what we're gonna do this year is once we get our groove going, we're gonna document our day so that people can see what we do. It was very successful for us. We did it for like 2 years. We did 23 and 24. We started
Yeah.
in 23, right?
Yeah, 23 is when we started reading a
Hmm.
book every morning together
Right.
because you said you were gonna start reading.
Hmm.
You're like, "You're gonna be a reader."
I'm a reader.
You are. You now even listen to audibles in your I am so proud of you. Um, but yeah, we did that in 23, 24. We decided we were gonna read the Bible, and we did that.
Right.
So this year, I'm gonna try to marry the 2, and I know that we've had a couple of our friends who have said that they are going to journey with us in reading the Bible, in 26, so I'm excited about that.
Let's get back to it.
Let's get back.
Returning back.
Yes, yes. So again, along the thoughts of New Year, is there anything that you are releasing for the year?
So what I would like to release, I think I've gotten to the point where now it's like, hey, I if I give it to God, I gotta give it to Him and leave it alone.
He don't
I
need your
can't
help.
continue to worry about it. I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll say, you know what, I'm giving it to God, and then next thing you know, I'll be like, Lord, I just need you to make sure that you have your way with this situation.
Mhm.
Bro, I gave it to him already. I don't know that there's anything with just throwing a little reminder out there every now and then.
Yeah, like, "Hey, I forgot."
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
But I think I'm gonna try to less worry, more prayer. And I don't know if worry's the word, but just letting go.
yeah.
Giving God something and letting him have it and letting it go.
Yes, I am with you
Yeah.
there. Yes, I am with you there. I think also expectation. Like,
Mm.
I can't expect people to do and think like I do,
Really?
especially if I've not shared
Really?
what my expectations are.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there are
Who would have thought?
there are some expectations that are a given,
Right.
but, yeah, I think I do wanna to do that, but yes, 100%, I'm with you, like, just letting God be God,
Yeah.
releasing things, not trying to hold on, by nature, I'm a fixer, and I'm like, "Hey, how can I help with this?" I'm just, be obedient,
Hmm.
but give it to God.
That's good. I'm gonna add something. It's not something I want to get rid of, but I want to continue to do a better job of over communicating. Like I really, really want to make sure that I'm over in every aspect of my life.
Mhm.
When it comes to communicate with my kids, my wife, my mom, my dad, whoever, I'm gonna do a better job over communicating.
Yeah, that's good. So, to wrap everything up, New Year is good. It's good to set goals
It
and all
is
of that, but don't define failure and success by those goals and by your timeline
right.
because God's got it.
God's got it.
Yeah.
If it's not
Yes.
in his will, you'll find out pretty
And
fast.
you have to learn to accept
Right.
when he's like, "Hey, that ain't the way it's this is not gonna go
Stop
that
trying
way."
to open this door.
Yes.
Running your hip bam, running to the wall. You know how people be
Yes.
running the glass, they almost
Yes. Yes. Glass super clean. They're like,
yeah,
boom.
pow.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you so much for continuing to ride along with us. As always, we hope this is something that has really resonated with you and something that you can take to heart.
We're gonna have some fun in 2026. You know, we're gonna have some good videos. We love some crowd participation. So comment, please.
Yes.
Like, subscribe.
Follow us on IG. A lot of good
Yeah.
comments
Follow
have
us
been
on
floating on
IG.
IG. So
Yeah,
we
we have fun
appreciate
on
it.
IG. Um, we gotta do better with TikTok. Are we too old for TikTok?
You used to tell me I'm not too old for anything.
Okay, cool. Well, TikTok,
Yeah.
the gram,
Thank you again. Please like, comment, share, send us questions, talk to us.
talk to
We
us.
appreciate you.
Have a good one.